Hello everyone and welcome to the HMG Saturday Night Wreckage, where after the collision we sift through
the wreckage. You already said it. You already said it, Jimmy. You're not used to doing the intros here. This is no rhyming, no poetry, just we're coming in hot.
Man? I should be doing some of the rhyming, you know what? But I do come in hot because, like I said, man, I don't usually host this show, but I am your host, Jimmy T, and as you heard, he is the two-time opinion haver, when I call him the three-time opinion haver. He is the vet, Jamie Williams. Welcome back to the Wreckage, man. And yeah, I am not used to it, but cut me some slack, bro. Come on.
You got all the slack in the world.
Well, shit, man. I have to control most of the shows, so I don't have time to really come up with anything good, but I should. I was thinking of writing something that I'm like, man, having to do watching Collision is bad enough, though, to be fair, vet. Let's be honest, man.
Right. You could have something totally written down and then you just get thrown off while you're remembering this. God, remember when Collision was kind of like, oh, we're going to see a nice little show tonight. It was only a few weeks ago, it seemed like. And now this Collision has become a 2-hour version of Rampage, and Rampage feels like it's been stepping it up for some reason.
Isn't it a bizarro land? And that's what's bad, vet. I mean, the fact that you just said it yourself, that Collision is becoming a 2-hour version of Rampage, that really worries me, dude, because 2 hours of Rampage is pretty bad. And like you said, Rampage has actually picked it up a lot, weird enough. I don't know why. I don't know what Tony thinks. I don't know if he's trying to reshuffle everything. I don't even know if Collision leaves a bad taste in his mouth because of the name they shall not mention in CM Punk.
Yeah, that's a good... I don't know, but that's no reason to bury the show. You know, like...
I agree.
It makes no sense. It's not like something he made up or brought with him, you know. It was programming afforded to them as another means of increasing the revenue, and that's how you should be using it. You should be using it as well as you have before. But again, it's probably not a thing that's on purpose. It's probably just, look, there's nobody that should be dealing with the amount of workload that Tony Khan is putting on his own plate, right? Like, how do you balance everything in that guy's life? It's just, there's no way of doing it. There's no way he can keep these things straight. So, you know, it's unfortunate that we have to sort of try to analyze it and, you know, report on it and all this other stuff. It's tough to watch sometimes. And sometimes there can be you know, there'll be stretches of a program where it's like, you're thinking, okay, this is moving along. It's going good, you know, and then it kind of slows down at one point, maybe a match that's a little too long or something. It's just very uneven. And I imagine that's kind of, you know, it's just because of the chaos that, you know, his life must be.
Well, Chris Willand is in the house and he wants to say Tony Khan must have been a god-awful child growing up. No, I'm sure he was a great child probably growing up. But then again, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, he's getting to do something that most people only dream of. And all you need to do to follow your dreams is to have a billionaire father.
Absolutely.
It's just that easy, guys. It's just that easy.
Well, what's also just easy, though, Vet, is the fact that you can come up with simple storylines without even have to think too hard, right? Obviously, TK is not thinking too hard because all he does is come up with tournaments so wrestlers can face each other without having to come up with anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but even that, you know, when you see that on Dynamite, you got 3 matches, right? And same thing here with Collision. 2 hours, 3 matches. However, because of the self-imposed rules of the matches are only going to go 20 minutes max. And none of them have gone the full 20 minutes yet, right? So, because there's no draws in the bracket. So even if they all went 20-minute Broadway, that's still half your show. You still have the other hour you got to fill, right? So it's like,
right.
Even a tournament won't save him from having to come up with something to fill time. And even the stuff that is going on, I'm afraid that call me jaded, call me bitter, call me bored, but none of it's that exciting or interesting. Like, I'm not excited about one single thing that's happening in AEW as far as like a storyline is concerned. Now, to be fair, I could say the same thing about WWE. Like, I don't give a shit about anything they got going on, right? Like, what do they have going? They really have nothing going on. You know, like what's a story in WWE? Let's say, for example, take a top guy like a Seth Rollins, right? What's his story? I'm hurt and I have to defend my title. Actually, is that a story, or is that just sort of like a kind of like a fact?
Right. Plus, he's a hypocrite, as a matter of fact. Didn't he say he was the hardest working, and he would step up to anybody, no matter if he's injured or not? Yeah. So what's he complaining about?
Yeah. So there's that. Let's look at Cody, right? Nakamura's been watching you, Cody. Is that a story? That's not a story. A mist in the face is not a story.
Did you read the translation of what he said to Cody by any chance?
You mean like what was up on the Titantron?
Yeah. Well, I didn't read it, but from what I've read online, due to all the dirt sheets, supposedly he said, "Cody, I bring you the chaos." And now everyone thinks Kazuchika Okada is jumping over to WWE. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
I kid you not. He was trending. When that segment first happened, I went on Twitter and I noticed, why is Okada like trending? So I clicked on it, and that's why everyone is going, oh my God, Okada's going to come because he said chaos. But what people don't understand is that Nakamura was the original leader of Damn Chaos before Okada was. So relax, peeps. God damn it.
Yeah, he's not going there.
No chance.
What else is a story going on? See, this is what I'm saying. Like there's no stories. There just is no stories in wrestling. So I don't know.
It really isn't. I mean, Orton, I guess, with Judgment Day. That's done now. Actually,
what is the story with Judgment Day?
Forget I even said it, because he's on SmackDown now. So that doesn't mean shit. It never happened now. So yeah, there is no stories right now in pro wrestling. I mean, Cody Rhodes wants his story finished, right? Eventually, right. God knows when that will be.
So they put a bookmark in that, and we'll get back to it, later when certain events come up on the calendar, right? Then we'll talk about it again, but we can't do anything about it. CM Punk returned. That's a story, and then nothing on SmackDown except just packages. SmackDown was all packages. Like you watched it. You did the Smack Attack. You and John and RBV did the Smack Attack, and I'm sure you had fun dissecting those packages, those recaps and those packages. It was like about half the show. Another, they at least AEW's killing half their show with tournament matches. Whereas WWE's killing half their show with recaps of stuff that you probably already saw, if you even care.
And that's sad, though, Vic, because SmackDown, for whatever reason, has lost a lot of momentum and has got no energy in the last few weeks. And yeah, you're right. It's become one big infomercial. That's all it is. You know what I mean? And it's weird because they've got 2 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd think they would want to do that more on Raw just to fill time. But 2 hours is not really that long for a pro wrestling show in terms of television, because take 30 minutes off, the show really goes for about an hour and 30 minutes, and that's it, right? Because of commercials. And they just don't know what they're doing right now. Now, it didn't feel like, I know we all give Triple H like the benefit of the doubt, let's be honest, right? A lot of people, like a lot of fans online, they give him the benefit of the doubt and they'll blame Bruce Pritchard. Apparently, Bruce Pritchard was the one running Raw this past Monday, and it seems like he was also running SmackDown this past Friday. But maybe it was Triple H all along, and we just give him the benefit of the doubt.
No, remember, Triple H's title is head of creative, right?
Right.
Which could mean a lot of things, including nothing. Like
true.
if he's just the one that says, you hand him the papers and he reads them and goes, okay, and then like he, he's not writing these shows. He's just saying like, okay, we'll do this. Or maybe he has like little notes like, hey, instead of this, maybe we could try this. And they'll be like, okay. But I don't think we're doing the, rip up the script. I'm quite sure Triple H is probably very happy to just get his, get all the writers to hand their stuff in and then just put the show together, or have someone else put the show together for him to approve. But he's got a lot of other stuff to worry about besides actually scripting a TV show. So Triple H's strength is he knows wrestling because he's a wrestler, and he knows what, he knows the people he has. He knows what his personnel is capable of for the most part. That is his strength, but that's not necessarily like, that doesn't mean that the show's going to be good. It may mean that the work environment is better for everybody. Like everybody backstage is probably a little less miserable because they know, whatever. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that it's going to be more entertaining, and you can bring in guys, you can bring in a CM Punk and whatever like that, but obviously there was no plan. So now they have to think of a plan. It's just because it's different doesn't mean it's necessarily better. But I think the ways that are better, because me being like more sympathetic and empathetic towards the actual talent, like I'm hoping that they're having a better time, that they're feeling more useful. And it's kind of funny because, I mentioned how, like, I don't remember what show I mentioned it on. I do too many shows, but, if you're looking at the timeline of how things line up, it seems very, certain things seem very interesting in terms of the timing, right? Because, you see like, certain people coming back to the company that could have come back at any other time. But now when we're pretty sure, I know people always say that Vince is still, running things, but I think those are people that are just kind of delusional and don't really understand what's going on. I'm pretty sure he's been pushed to the side. And if that wasn't the case, perhaps you would not see the return of a Kyrie, right? Because who's the one that's like, you're a Kabuki warrior? I'm sure, no matter what they were told to say, Vince McMahon is known for using the phrase Kabuki-ish. There's no way that that's just a coincidence, right? So no. Like but you could see like her being on the phone with Triple H and be like, is he gone yet? And he's like, no, hold on. He's not gone yet. He's not all the way gone. He's still trying to hang around. Just do some more Stardom and we'll call you when it's time, or
right.
Or like CM Punk, same thing. Who was really in his way? Was it really Triple H or was it Vince? Right. So
wow.
CM Punk is probably like, okay, is he gone now? And Hunter's like, yeah, he's probably gone. Like he's gone. You could come back now. Let's just come back. He's gone. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of things from here. Right now, who else is rumored to be coming back pretty soon? Just recently, even though I would have said it if it came up in conversation at any point before this. Somebody else is a free agent that maybe walked out of the company once and has not re-signed with anybody for a long-term deal.
Who was it? I can't think of it right now. It's not coming up for me. I'll probably do know it.
Maybe this will help you, Jimmy. It's boss time. What do you think about her waiting around for certain people to be gone for good, right?
Like 100% she's coming back to WWE, man. She's not going to AEW.
Now she wasn't. Now maybe she wasn't going to come back if certain people were there.
Right.
I don't think she has a problem with Triple H, so he's probably doing that same thing with the, hey, is he gone yet? No, just just get a booking if you can, show up at All In or whatever, like whatever you got to do.
Show up at All In.
But don't sign anything yet. We're getting him. We're getting rid of him. We're putting him in a home. Okay. Just wait for us to put him in a home, and then we'll call you. Like,
put him in a home. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm not going away. It's like, apparently he's staying in Florida these days, actually, Vet. I'm talking about Vince McMahon, of course.
Yeah, like all the old people should.
He probably is in old people's home. He's got his cane. He's got his mustache. I mean, come on. And his old man hat now, too. I've seen him wear little beret. Yeah, he looks like an old man now, legitly. But you know what's funny? Speaking of Punk and Banks and whatnot, it seems like Jay Cargill's making friends in high places in WWE. Check this out, Vet. That was today.
Yeah, I know some of those people.
Yeah. I mean, do you think she's making the right friends or what?
I mean, come on. Like, who wouldn't want to be friends with Jade, for that matter?
True. I mean, everyone seems attracted to her in general. I'm not saying in looks. She's got this mystique about her. And look at her. I mean, she looks like $1 million. Her abs were like huge right there in that picture. I mean, she doesn't even have to like tense, and her abs are still like, psh.
Right.
She's a machine. She's a specimen.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's exactly what you expect from somebody that was, tight with Mark Henry. It's just, it's pretty obvious,
Absolutely.
She's been on the right track from the beginning to get in and break into the business. She's been doing everything right so far. So,
right.
I mean,
and I can't stand. No, continue on, Vet.
I was just going to say, I'm excited to see where she goes. Because I know that whatever she gets, she'll make the most of it.
I hope so, man. I hope she does, because everybody's jumping the gun. You know, the IWC, YWC, you know how they are, man.
None of them are ever wrong about anything. Just for example, they all knew that Punk wasn't coming back in Survivor Series. That's just one example of how they knew, right? The IWC knew he wouldn't. Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy that he's back. Like I said, and for the people that bashed Punk, and I was watching the Next Level podcast just quietly, and it was intense, Vet. I'm not going to lie. Seeing your reaction on the show, I said this to Chris as well, and to Ray. But seeing your reaction, I was going to text you, dude, but then I forgot about it and I didn't. And I'm thinking, man, I've never seen the Vet like that. When Chris and Ray were going at it, I was looking at you, dude, and you're like, and I'm like, what the hell? I've never seen Vet like that. And Vet, not you, sorry, Ray and Vickery were going off too. I'm like, what's going on here? What was up with that show, dude? But it was, look, I'm not going to lie. That's what you call must-see TV, if you want to call it that, or streaming, whatever you want to say. But it was interesting, nevertheless.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure that RBV and Ray booked their own angle, because they talked about how they were texting, and then all of a sudden, well,
I know what you're saying.
Ray sends me a text. Ray sends me a text saying RBV's going to be on the show. I'm like, oh, okay. In my mind, I'm like, well, that's fine. I'm happy to always do a show with him, but that's kind of random, So, like, why does he want to be on the NXT review show? So, but it quickly became apparent to me as I was sitting there that he was on there just so they could argue on the air about what they were texting about.
100%.
Ray probably said, why don't you come on the show and we'll talk about it then, or some shit like that. Or he'll say, or he said, I'll come on the show and talk about it with you. So once I realized these guys booked their own angle, I just kind of sat back and just let them go at it, and then when I was about to say something, then all of a sudden Chris comes in. So I'm just like,
oh, shocked.
All right, never mind. You too. Everybody go ahead and say what they think. So.
Oh, you're a character, man. I love it.
So it was a
back.
fun show, except,
Oh, man, that's classic. All right, well, before we do get into the collision, or when we do start sifting through the wreckage, I just want to acknowledge the chat, because we do have a few in the house. Media M5, what's cracking? I don't know what you're on about what was that wacky choppy spot on the floor between I know what he's talking about. It wasn't on the floor, it was on the mat per se, if it's what I'm thinking of. The chopping where Kingston was so like hurt that he couldn't get up because of the chops, but he was telling him to keep chopping him. Whatever, Eddie. But yeah, we'll get to that soon. Chris Millen's also in the house, and he says Tony Khan must have been. Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, we talked about that one.
That's right. Zane Vicious is in the house. He also says Bill Watts stand by matches, pal.
That's right. That's another thing they could bring back. You have to have a reason why all these things, like when wrestlers make their own matches on the show, you got to have a scene where like Nick Aldis or Adam Pearce goes to like two guys that are sitting backstage and be like, sorry guys, we just made a new match, so your match is pushed.
Bye.
Yeah, it's like sorry Apollo Crews versus Akira Tozawa or whatever, like these guys made their own main event, sorry.
Facebook users in the house, whoever that is, he says no, he told Cody you dance on Geisha.
Geisha, yeah, that's a Karate Kid. That's a Karate Kid Part 2 reference. Whoever that is.
Whoever that is, I have no idea. But also, we have Dark Side Caster in the house. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. And also, Labrat. I didn't need Sasha back.
He doesn't need Sasha back. He doesn't need Sasha back. He wants Sasha back.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Also, Joran Hall's in the house. What's going on, man? Good morning also. And everyone's favorite Israeli, Aaron Ben Shlomo. Hello, everybody. Jimmy and Vet, my escape from the stupidity on TV. Thank you for doing the show. No, we thank you.
He must not be talking about Collision then, because.
Well, he says, finally, the voices of sanity.
Yes.
Yeah,
we are very sane.
That's about it. Not quite, but Well, Vet, I don't know if there's any other news we should be talking about, but should we sift through the damn wreckage?
Yeah, let's sift through it.
Shall we? Well, we start off the night with Swerve. Oh, no, wait a minute. This is the wrong... I've got the wrong notes up.
Jimmy has pulled up the Dynamite results.
That's true. I did, but no. Hold on. I've got it here. 2 seconds. But yeah, it starts off with Brody King and Claudio Castagnoli on the blue side of things with the Continental... whatever the hell classic it is. Is that what it's called? The Continental Classic, right?
The Continental Classic. Is it bold to just name your tournament Classic right out of the gate when it's the first one?
What does it even mean? Again, why Continental Classic? I mean, what does it mean? I mean, what's the classic part for?
Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
I mean, I don't. Question.
Okay, so like I don't mind the idea of it, but the name sucks. I find the name sucks. So, that's my assessment. I would have named it something cooler, I guess.
Way cooler, absolutely. But
because if you say Continental, that implies within a continent, right? But which one, right?
Right. Thank you.
So
because everybody,
you're like, okay, is it North America? Is it the continent of North America? Because normally in America we don't do triple crowns or unifications as much, right? So, okay, that's an interesting idea, but Continental doesn't tell you the purpose in the name. You're left to guess, right? So, at the same time though, it's also annoying how, I'm sure you're probably tired of this too, where no matter what they do, people are just going to shit on it and not care, right? Like, people will come out of the woodwork to tell you how much they don't care about what AEW does. And it's like, so why are you commenting on it? If you don't care, just continue to not care. But everything they do, it's like people are ready to say how much they don't care about it. So it's kind of like...
I hate both sides of the fandom when it comes to WWE and AEW shitting on one another. I mean, the tribalism, and I've said this a million times, is just so dumb. But the AEW ones are the most annoying, though, by far. I mean, they stand... And look, Tony Khan is lucky just to have fans that are that obsessed with something by his side, because they're his soldiers that are actually sticking up for him, you know what I mean? But everything WWE does, like, for example, WWE's got a tournament coming up for the United States Championship, right? So now they're rejoicing. Oh, you fucking, all the WWE guys are complaining about AEW having tournament after tournament. But look at WWE doing a tournament. And I agree. I don't need a tournament in WWE. But before we continue on, I love how people try to explain to me in the chat about what continental means, right? Yesterday, I saw your comment, Eran, right? And I appreciate you trying to correct me. And now Media M5 is trying to also correct me. I know what continent means, guys. I'm being sarcastic. Jesus. I'm just saying.
What we're saying is, what do they mean by it?
Right, exactly.
We know what the word means. What do they mean? Because they're not. If it's look, these matches, they're taking place on U.S. soil. The United States is not a continent. It's part of a continent. So when they have matches in Canada, okay, that's part of the continent. If they have any matches in Mexico, which I don't think they plan to, okay, that's part of the continent. But you're not saying it's the North American Classic.
No.
You're saying it's the Continental Classic. It could be Antarctica for all we know.
Oh my God. Well, Media M5 said, thank you, Vet. You need to clarify better for Jimmy.
Yeah, don't pay attention to Media M5. You can barely speak English as it is.
Oh, nice. And he says right.
Don't worry, the insults are incoming. So, all right, so we have this match. It's Brody King versus Cesaro. Okay,
yep.
You're already telling me that me personally, maybe other people love this match. Me personally, you're saying, Vet, you can just skip ahead. That's basically what you're saying by putting this match.
I don't even want to talk about this shit. If you want to talk about it, please go ahead.
Well, I think it was interesting that Brody King went up. Don't you?
I do, but it didn't surprise me though either. The only thing I didn't like is your typical AEW style of match where a fella Costagnoli was pretty much dominating the match and then King wins. You know what I mean? I just hate that style, man.
Yeah. So, other than that, I don't really remember anything to talk about. It's just such a very... What? I watched both these guys and I'm like, you guys are... Again, this is like you guys watch a lot of Japanese wrestling and you're trying to do it. And rather than just work a match. Don't try to copy a Japanese match.
It is just Japanese style match. Or it's becoming that, like, legitly, except it just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel like it's done properly. It's not even a good sort of copy of Japanese wrestling, if that makes any sense.
No, it's not. And the actual Japanese wrestling, like if you're watching New Japan, like the guys on the lower card and the newer guys and stuff, that's what their shit is now looking like. And pretty soon it's all going to be like that. So it sucks. It's this weird hybrid of you're taking some of every type of match and none of it really feels good. It's not a good mix. The ingredients don't go together. At least not the way they're doing it. There must be a way to do it, but they're just not doing it.
I mean, it does. Not even WWE matches feel like this. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to explain. Like, AEW, it just feels like every match is the same fucking formula, man. Like, just every match, it's the same kind of deal. And Collision, it feels like flat. It just feels, I don't know, the blue half of things really feels like a blue half of things, if that makes any sense. You know what I mean? Compared to the gold side. But all of AEW, just to me, like I said, if I wasn't doing these shows, man, I would not watch any of this crap right now. I kid you not. It just, I don't look forward to anything. Nothing makes sense. And even when they're trying to make sense of something, it still doesn't make sense. Like, why is Ethan Page challenging Kenny, for example? Why? To see who the best in Canada is? Like, come on,
let's get to it in order.
All right. Well, anyway, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about this match. The only thing for me that popped me was Claudio doing the giant swing on Brody King for quite a while. Just seeing a big guy getting, swung around like that, it's kind of funny. But other than that, it was just a match.
All right. Well, Brody King has 6 points now, so I believe he's the block leader.
I think you're
Arabesh
right.
Shlomo says that we're talking about the 3-time Booker of the Year here. Who are we to judge the brilliance that he gives us instead of saying praise the Tony? Well, I know you're being facetious, Aaron, but
Praise the
I,
Tony.
I'm not even talking about the booking part of it. I mean, the tournament, the way it's set up, it's not even about booking. I mean, everybody
No
has to
booking.
face each other. So,
Right.
it's not a question of booking. It's just what happens. But I'm just talking about the way guys work matches. It's beyond, it's way before AEW. It's
Way
back
before.
to, it's back to Ring of Honor. It's back to the
Yeah, yeah,
start of
it's
Ring of Honor
exactly.
20 years ago, and then it's like, now Ring of Honor is like bringing in Japanese guys and copying Japanese guys. Then you've got a generation of PWG that's copying Ring of Honor, but it's a bad copy. And now you
Bad
got
copy, bro.
guys from PWG that are making it onto major television shows. So you're seeing that lame sort of, it's like a hybrid of lucha libre and strong style, but it's the worst of both of them. So that's kind of what indie wrestling has become. And therefore, when AEW becomes the biggest indie ever, that's what all their workers are going to work like. Right?
Dude,
So
100%. That's what it is. And I've said this quite a few times. AEW is legitly an indie company with millions of dollars. That's all it is.
right.
And a
And this
TV
is
deal.
here's a way to explain it. Like I hesitate to get too into the weeds because I'm like the third guest on this show. So I'm not really
Oh,
trying to
really?
get too deep into it. And
No,
then
dude.
even now it's like I don't want to spend too much time on one match or this one concept, but to give you a sense
Please
of what I'm
talk about it.
talking about,
Right.
it's like the difference between a match like this that Cesaro and Brody King have, and then what I would consider like a more proper, more engaging match, is like, it looks like these guys are going down the list of things that they talked about doing. Because each thing is like, okay, we're going to do this thing.
And then
Okay.
this
And
thing.
now it's time to do this thing. And next is this thing and this thing and this thing, right? Where real good workers make it look like they're reacting to things and improvising on the spot. I'm not talking about improvising in terms of like, hey, I'm calling it in the ring, like as a shoot. I mean, as a kayfabe,
No.
like your character is
Right.
like reacting to things. Like you look at your opponent, you see them selling, and then you maybe get a facial expression like, I got this motherfucker now.
Yeah.
There's none of that in the moment, like realism in these matches with Brody King. It's these two guys with no facial expressions going through the stuff they talked about, one after the other. And no matter how well they do it, it comes across artificial. There's a certain segment of the wrestling fan population that only watches matches like this, so they don't even know what good wrestling is.
Facts.
But if they see it, at least thankfully in AEW, when they see good wrestling, they like it just as much. It's just, they like who they like and they get into it, but they have to be shown that, in the first place. And there aren't that many guys left that can do that, So,
No, it's funny you said that because I kid you not, Vet. I was thinking that myself when they were on the outside, especially. Just what was going through my head was like, it feels like just spot calling. You know what I mean? And you hit the nail on the head. I couldn't have put it better myself. It just feels like they've spoken about what they're going to do every time they're doing it. And it feels very, I don't want to say robotic, but it just feels like going with the motions. And like Jerome Hall says in the chat, no flow. Exactly.
mm-hmm.
There's no flow.
Well, you got to know when to, you got to know when to be able to cut something out.
Right.
And if you're always trying to remember something, you sort of lose being in the moment. That's all.
It's spot on. Nah, spot on, dude. It's crazy. And like John also says, which was great, facial expressions say everything, which is exactly right.
Right.
You can read a person.
You can't cut a promo in the middle of a match, so you have to tell the story with your face and your body language too. It's everything. I never felt like these guys were like in a struggle, a contest, they were trying to win. They did stuff to each other. That's true. But I just didn't feel like it was realistic.
No, it wasn't. It really wasn't, man. But that's AEW. Do you feel like the WWE guys that have jumped over to AEW, do you think they're kind of forgetting how a match really goes? I mean, because it feels like they just don't care. They're just, phoning it in.
There aren't that many examples right now.
Well, that's true. Good question. I mean, good point. Sorry. Well, anyway, that was that match. I think we've spoken about that pretty well. So that leads us to a backstage promo from Jon Moxley saying maybe the last 4 years are finally catching up to him. His head hurts, his back hurts, and now apparently his knee hurts. Also, his fingers are tingly all the time. He lives in pain on a day-to-day basis. His head isn't screwed on straight lately either, I agree, with doctors prescribing him a lot of different medication. He's sick and tired of being sick and tired. His body is failing him, and he's tired of that too. He's sick of being pissed off. And you know what? I'm sick of this promo right at this point, Vet, because all I'm hearing is I'm sick, I'm old, I'm tired, and I work with children, including himself. That's what was going through my mind, except it was bad the way he put it.
The first thing I thought of when he said all this stuff is like, well, whose fault is that?
Yeah, exactly. Spot on. It's
true. Nobody asked you to do all this stuff that you did. You did it. But even if he's just staying in character, even so, like, I get what he's trying to do. He's saying, I'm going through so much and I'm going to keep going through it. And that's supposed to get you to like rally behind him. Like, yeah, look how much he loves us that he's willing to continue putting himself on the line and his health on the line. I guess that's the idea. I don't know who really thinks that though, because everything that Jon Moxley does is so blatantly phony that it just doesn't look like I can't believe people getting into it unless it's like the most I could see people like fans of his saying is just like, oh my God, can you believe he did that? Which is not necessarily the reaction that you want,
So let me get this straight. A guy that just puts himself through hell, literally, and he loves it, is complaining about being put through hell, even though it was his choice. I mean, it's so dumb to me, but like Labra says, I'm dying, let's wrestle. I mean, come on, man. And Jerome also says, imagine stepping barefoot on a Lego in the dark, drunk. Now that's real emotional. That's real emotional.
Don't give him any ideas. Next, we're going to have a lights out Legos drunk match.
I bet you that's already happened in GCW, dude, surely.
Oh, I'm sure it has.
But yeah, don't give him any ideas, Jerome. Come on, man. But anyway, that was Moxley. I don't know why he's complaining. It's his fault. He's sick and tired of everything, but whatever. It is what it is. Next, we see Abaddon versus Kiera Hogan. And weirdly enough, Abaddon defeats Kiera Hogan via pinfall. But it feels like Abaddon is kind of getting a push all of a sudden. I mean, she's been winning her last couple of matches that I watched her wrestling. So why now do they care about Abaddon? Is she going to join the House of Black, possibly?
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh, exactly.
Can you imagine just people like the House of Black and somebody like her, and they just exist in the same company, not being together?
I mean, you would have thought they would have had her as the first choice, dude.
Yeah. So, I don't know. She was gone for a long time. I suppose there was some sort of injury involved. And then she came back, and now she's got this whole green hair thing. She looks different. Looks like she dropped some weight.
She has dropped weight, definitely.
So I don't know. Do I care, though? No. And I saw nothing to change my mind here, so.
Well, what about Julia Hart? I mean, she appeared and then disappeared.
Yeah, once again, I think of the Scary Movie scene where when the lights go out, Julia Hart has to hurry up and run away, which definitely sort of breaks character. And everybody in the arena, they can see her do that.
I know,
because even though it's dark, they can still kind of see it, and they got their phones out or whatever. So, like, you have to watch Julia Hart scurry away real quick and sort of be out of character.
Why don't they do what WWE used to do, actually? And this would take a lot of patience in many ways. I mean, there was times where wrestlers would stay under the ring for a long time for their spot. But also later on, they ended up having a trapdoor that went underneath the sort of the arena, if you know what I mean. You know, I don't know if you've ever, I'm sure you have, but you've been at the back of an arena before, right?
No, I don't know.
No? Okay, I have before, funny enough, weird enough. But basically there's usually like a section that's just totally underneath the arena where there's dressing rooms at times, or like just restrooms and showers and whatnot. No, I'm assuming not all arenas are like that, but the one that I actually saw was kind of like that. And you can sort of go up to the main arena from underneath.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you that. I don't know if all arenas are like that, but yeah, they do that. But anyway, it's more like a maintenance area sort of thing. It's where you see all the piping and shit like that. It's nothing different, but still, yeah, under the ring eating a sandwich, exactly, Joe. But seriously, WB wrestlers used to sit under the ring until their spot was. It was time for their spot. These guys, it just appear. Everybody watches them disappear, and that's about it. I mean, no effort at all.
Yeah.
So anyway, Abaddon wins, and I assume she's the number one contender to the TBS championship, right? I mean, come on. That's what they're going to do.
Or is she being recruited, like he said?
Well, she should be, because Julia Hart, look, man, let's be real. Does she come across like she suits this sort of gig? I don't get scared about anything when it comes to Julia Hart. Abaddon, on the other hand, she's a freak, dude. Like, seriously, she's always like, rah! Dude, have you seen her without makeup, bro? Seriously.
No, I don't.
I'm telling you, dude.
I don't pay any attention to any of these people.
Put it this way. Nothing against Abaddon, but god damn it, thank God she's wearing the face paint.
Okay.
Jesus.
Well, Jinder Mahal, the brother of former WWE champion Jinder Mahal, says Abaddon Julia is the next Undertaker and Mankind feud. So, hey, go for it. You know?
Imagine they do that, man. She becomes the next Undertaker, goes on a streak. Why not? I mean, shit. Absolutely.
Yeah. All Julia Hart needs is to wear a hat and a long coat. Obviously, she's the Undertaker now.
Well, yeah. Doesn't she come out like that? Sometimes she does. Yeah. Anyway, Samoa Joe's next being interviewed. He's quickly interrupted by Roderick Strong, who says he's willing to forgive him for trying to break his neck, not once, but twice. But he wants to warn him that this is clearly a trap. Adam Cole, let me rephrase that. Adam Cole says he likes Joe and he's a fan of his. So that makes them best friends by proxy, because Strong is Cole's best friend. Strong said Wednesday is just a setup and his goons are just going to beat the crap out of him. He's probably plotting right now. In fact, is Joe going to listen? Joe just laughed and then he just walks off. I've been saying this for weeks. MJF is definitely the devil. I don't care. I'm with Roddy Strong on this one, and he's telling us, but no one's listening.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna, you know. So is this what these guys do now? That they make sure to just, he always screams part of somebody's name.
I hate it, dude. I fucking hate it. Look, it made me kind of.
You can see how much Joe was invested in this by how he reacted to it. He was rolling his eyes, bro.
He was really rolling his eyes. He couldn't give a fuck about any of this shit. But whatever. That's pretty much how he sees it. He's like, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But seriously, why does he have to say Samoa? What was it? Samoa Joe.
They think it's funny. Therefore, they're going to do it. Don't worry. It's not the last we'll see of these guys tonight.
Clearly, it's not. Anyway, speaking of laughs, next we have another Blue League matchup. It is Daniel Garcia versus Andrade El Idolo. But also Andrade is with CJ Perry. Now, I'm annoyed, all right? Before I get into the match, first of all, I guess Danny Garcia is a young whippersnapping stud. I mean, he took Andrade kind of to the limit. Andrade does win. But, and no dancing. Maybe he needed to dance to get the win. I mean, what's his name? Daddy Magic was on commentary, and every time Danny Garcia was teasing the dance, he's like, "Don't do it, Danny! Don't do it!" And he didn't, and he lost.
I was wrong. There are stories in AEW.
That's perfect. I don't think we need to even talk about it anymore after that. But I mean, no, but seriously, dude, what the hell? So this story is about dancing.
Yep, that's it.
Cool.
And what's going to happen to CJ Perry's client? But that's later.
Oh, that is later.
Okay.
Also, this reminds me, what was that dancing movie back in the day that everybody loved? I'm talking about in the 80s, bro. I forgot what it was called.
Footloose?
No. It was more chick.
Dirty Dancing?
Dirty Dancing. There we go. Dirty Dancing. So is that what we're getting? Dirty Dancing storyline in wrestling?
Yes.
It is Dirty Dancing, right? When you think about it.
I mean, kind of, yeah. It's very pelvic.
Jerome Hall. Dirty Dancing. Oh, my. Tell me when I'm telling lies, Jerome. Seriously. Come on. So let's move on, though, because El Idolo does defeat Daniel Garcia via pinfall.
Can I say one thing, though? Like,
absolutely.
Look, we're going to dunk on this entire show. So let me say a positive thing now. Remember what I was saying earlier about the way Brody King and and Cesaro had a soulless robotic match,
Right.
This wasn't that. So to their credit,
it was a decent match.
Even if you're just looking at it in terms of like, these guys didn't look like they were just going to the next spot. They looked like they were struggling to fight each other. Right?
That's true. You're right.
And that's the difference between like Andrade and like, I'm pretty sure almost every single other, luchador on the roster, with the possible exception of Penta. But Penta gets caught up in a little bit of foolishness, but he doesn't really always do like the, like the tumbling and the flips and stuff, like all the commanders and the, the Vikingos, which we'll see later, and like that.
Oh, dude.
So between Penta and Andrade, like they're two real wrestlers who can kind of do it all. And that's what we're seeing, as opposed to two guys that are like, hey, let's do what we've seen other guys copying Japanese matches do.
Do you think Garcia's a lot better than we give him credit for in terms of in-ring action? Or is Andrade just that good?
I'm sorry, what was the first part of the question?
Oh, did I break up? Okay, sorry.
No, I just said, maybe I was reading something in the chat. I got distracted.
Okay,
sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say, do you think Daniel Garcia is a lot better than we give him credit for? Or is Andrade really that good?
Andrade is that good, but it's not that Daniel Garcia is bad. It's just that you don't get a guy over the way they're getting him over.
That's true. You're not. It's not going to go anywhere. The crowd don't care anymore.
Yeah,
bro.
because it was. We talked about this the last time Chris wasn't here. We talked about this with Wheeler Yuta, because Wheeler Yuta's a guy who, if they had booked him right from the start, you could be more into him now. But they pushed him way too hard, too fast, and Garcia too. He's had more main events on AEW than any other wrestler, and it's like that's a bad thing. You have to, this is what I've explained many times in the past. When you're booking wrestling and you see you've got these talents, you cannot think, okay, I am going to get this guy over. You take the people that you want to get over, and then you trick the people into thinking they're choosing to get him over.
Right, exactly.
You don't force him down their throat. You hold him just out of reach and let the people beg for him, So if you bring Daniel Garcia in as like, whatever you want him to be, like just a regular guy, no character, whatever, and then you start beating him or whatever, and then people start to want to see him win. Like they'll see he has some skills, but he just never quite wins. Same thing with Yuta, things like that, just for example, right? Depending on what you want to do with him or how he, what's best for him. But force feeding us Daniel Garcia is not going to help him, you know? So
No, it's
I don't know.
not. And it's, and we've said this a million times also. AEW just doesn't know how to like get past a certain point when it comes to pushing their wrestlers. Like they start well per se, like with Wardlow initially and whatnot, and then they just, I don't know, like they just get stuck.
But
Then,
remember here's the other thing though. Remember this. And this is not an AEW exclusive problem.
right.
It's again, you can say the same thing in the WWE. Like they go from, LA Knight losing to everybody on the roster to LA Knight just getting a push and being in a title match all of a sudden. Like they just they're not
SmackDown.
Yeah, they're not doing anything. Nobody's doing it really correctly. And look at Roman. Like look how long it took for them after they were trying to get him going to get the people, you know what I mean? Like they just don't get it. So it's not just AEW's problem, but as far as like what I'm sorry, did you ask me a question right before I started to go into that, or
Oh no! It was just
I lost my train of thought for a second because I was going somewhere with that. But
I was just saying how AEW doesn't know how to continue someone's push.
Wardlow, that's what it was.
Yeah,
It was Wardlow.
right.
Wardlow, if you remember, they had Wardlow just the MJF Butler, right? And then
Yeah.
they would bring him in to lose to a guy like Cody, right? Like Cody beats Wardlow. Like so before they ever went on the Powerbomb Symphony run, he had already lost like 3 times.
It's true. It's weird.
So you also can't just do a gear switch. You have to have something in mind from the beginning with these talents, and they still don't know what they're doing with Hobbs. Like it shouldn't be that difficult to figure out, but they keep finding ways to mess it up, but whatever. It's okay.
How
Just
do you screw it up?
to answer your original question, Daniel Garcia has got some talent, but like his look, the way he's booked, he's just not. It's too much for him. He's not the kind of guy that has it. He does not have it. That doesn't mean he can't be successful. It just means people won't be immediately drawn to him. People will have to warm up to him. So throwing him in main events isn't going to help that.
No, it doesn't. And at first, the crowd were warming up to him in terms of, sports entertainment or as a professional wrestler. Now the crowd don't even react anymore about that. They don't care. They're just over it. And that's not his fault. That's AEW's fault by the way he's being handled. And yeah, they're screwing up another guy. So whatever. I mean, it is what it is. Next, though, speaking of what the hell's going on here, Vet, we see Willie Mack cutting a promo on Wardlow, funny enough, saying he didn't like what he did to AR Fox and he wants him in a match next week. He's a big man and a big meal to eat. So, and also bring your lunchbox.
Hey, all right.
Cool. He can't talk for shit, Willie Mack, dude. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not
Not
sorry
as
to
much
you,
as
but,
you would think he would. You're like, okay, here's a big fat guy that can do some. He does everybody's favorite moves, but like he must be one hell of a talker, right? And then that's kind of like the weakest part of his game for some reason.
Yeah, he can't talk for shit. He's pretty bad, dude. Even his sentencing didn't really make sense because he was saying, I'm hungry, but he's hungry. I don't know, man.
No, I thought his promo made sense, but
bring your lunchbox because he's hungry or some shit. He's going to steal your lunch, which is the wrestler he's facing in Wardlow. But we all know this is going to be an absolute squash match, and the lunchbox is going to take Willie Mack home for dinner, I guess. Jeez. Whatever. It sounded like a Willie Mack promo, what I just did there, Vet. God damn it. Anyway,
come on.
Speaking of, we see the Kingdom introduced next as Roderick Strong cuts off the announcement, or the announcer off, where he's like, Dasha! Fucking annoying. Saying something to his new best friend by proxy, Samoa Joe. He said again that everything he said was true. Max is the devil and Joe will find out very soon. Cool. That was just a repeat of the backstage promo. So that leads us to the Kingdom versus the Iron Savages or Bear Country Savages or whatever the hell they are. What are they? Are they Bear Country Savages? They're ass eaters, dude. I mean, they look better though. I'll give them that. They look in shape.
Better than what?
Again, better than Bear Country, if you get my drift. I mean,
I
seriously.
get it's not even a drift. That's just their old gimmick. Look.
Well, they do look better than when they were Bear Country.
Yeah, the only reason this was even on the television is because they can't just have all these guys keep coming out and not having matches. Like, we can't be paying you guys to stand around, so get in the ring. So we have to see the Kingdom quickly get over guys that will never get over themselves, and then that's the whole excuse. Now, I will say this. I really don't want to put this over, but I had to laugh. Do you? Go ahead, then say it for me.
Has it got to do with Matt Taven?
No.
All right, or Roddy Strong.
Okay.
All right. Well, are you talking about when he jumped at the end and hit fucking whatever his fucking name is? I don't even know his name, dude. That was good. I like that too.
Right. But it's again, it's not good. It's stupid. But like, I have to do something. Stupid, like, I have to laugh at something. It's just,
it was funny, bro.
But if I was, dude, if I owned this company, this shit would not be happening. And if someone went into their business for themselves and did this, I would have popped in the back, and then when they came back, I would have chewed them out.
Do you think
like, don't fucking do that. It's so stupid. He gets up and he flies in the ring and gives one of the Bear Country guys the flying knee, and then tries to roll back out like he's hurt again, and then he falls into his own wheelchair and falls over the wheelchair. And they're like helping him into it.
Oh man, that was funny though, and the crowd popped to that though. To be fair, man, everyone was chanting Roddy. He was loving it.
Yes,
like,
it was.
Thank you.
But this is an example of how something was funny, but it's bad. This should not have happened. This whole thing is like children. It's Nickelodeon level. This is Nickelodeon kids sketch comedy level bad. But just because one funny thing happened in it, out of context, it's funny, but it's also like, oh God, I can't believe this is so bad. Like, it's not even genuinely good. It's funny because it's so fucking wrong.
Right.
I don't know how else to describe it than that.
No. You described it perfectly. But do you think he went and did that with anyone else knowing? Do you think that third guy? I don't even know his name. I was going to say
knew. They knew.
All right.
Because they knew, but I'm just saying. I was making the point. Like, if they, because I said if I was running the show, I wouldn't have them doing any of this. So if they did something like this, I would get mad at them, even if it popped me. But I'm just, no. Of course they knew he was going to do it. It was a planned spot. I don't know if he meant to fall over the wheelchair as hard as he did.
I hope he didn't. That would be awesome if he didn't. But I think he meant it, though. But one thing I noticed, first of all, that damn neck brace is looking really rough, right? Which is funny. I like that, right? But even the wheelchair, I don't know if you noticed, but the leather's coming undone. Now, I don't know if they did that on purpose, but it just looks thrashed, dude. So you think they actually undone it on purpose and all that shit?
Well, how else would it get that worn out?
I know. That's
you
why
think he's in a wheelchair his entire life, every day of the week?
Maybe,
of course not.
Maybe Matt Taven, he's like, and Bennett, he's pushing him around everywhere. I mean, you never know.
Yeah, because we got to keep up that level of realism for these fans, right?
He's working,
as we do media scrums that expose, as we do media scrums that immediately expose the entire show right after it's over. But we got to worry about Roddy Strong being in a wheelchair, right?
Hey. Sandman, do you remember the gimmick when he lost his eyesight or whatever against Raven, I think it was? If I remember.
It was 30 years ago?
30 years ago, but you know what? He was walking around with an eye patch the whole time, dude. Selling that shit.
Good for him.
Even though those
that'd be the one thing he did for the business.
I know, that's true. Hey, later on in Ring of Honor, though, funny enough, You know what? I just want to say one thing about Sandman, and I'll move on. I watched a random Ring of Honor show right before AEW bought Ring of Honor, right? And I saw Sandman, funny enough. And dude, I never seen him wrestle the way he wrestled in this match. He's doing sentons, flips, and I'm like, what the hell? How old is this guy? And how is he doing this shit? So the guy can actually, he's kind of athletic, even though he looks like he's not, but he can do certain shit. So that kind of impressed me. But anyway, Hack is a good guy, dude. I don't know if you know that, but he's a real good guy, genuinely.
People seem to like him.
He's a top dude, man. He's emotional too, which is interesting. But yeah. But that's his gimmick. He lives his gimmick legitly. But anyway, we're not here to talk Sandman. So anyway, the Kingdom defeats the Iron Savages, and after, like you said, Roderick Strong, of course, hopped into the ring and kicked Boulder, that's his name, before bailing back out to his chair where he appeared to break. Jesus. Anyway, maybe he didn't mean that, actually. I actually suddenly leaned like he didn't mean it. Next, we see Ethan Page requesting some interview time. I didn't know you have to request it. He says ever since he lost him. Well, yeah, that's a fair call. He's poor guy. Here's another one actually where they seemed like they were pushing, and then he just fell off. But anyway,
don't worry. I'll get my piece of Ethan Page as soon as you're done with this.
Oh, please. I'm actually interested to hear this. But anyway, he says ever since he lost to MJF in Canada, he has had to regroup and refocus his energy and efforts, and he's gotten into the best physical shape of his life. He looks the same, just quietly, vet. Anyway, so he's here to make a challenge and check off a bucket list thing. He wants to be the king of Canada, and if he wants that, he's going to need a crown. But right now, that crown is sitting on someone else's head, so he wants Kenny Omega. So apparently Kenny Omega is the king of Canadian professional wrestling, vet, which makes Ethan Page want to be the king. So please tell us about the Ethan Page, shall we?
You like Ethan Page?
You know what, dude? At first, I couldn't stand him in Impact. He made me laugh when he in his last match when he was fighting the karate version of him. I forgot his name, whatever it was. And then he jumped over to AEW. I didn't like him at first, but then he grew on me. And now I don't care anymore about Ethan Page again because clearly AEW doesn't care either. So why should I?
Yeah.
He's a lot better, though. He's a lot better in the ring than people give him credit for, though. I'll say that. And he's a good promo guy.
That. I don't know about that. I don't know really what he does. He's just a guy that exists, right? Another guy that exists that talks himself up, and I just don't see it. So, and I know that's a wrestler's job, right? But for example, like famously, to me, one of the promos that he cut was he came out on one of these shows. This was a long time ago. It might have even been back in pandemic times. And he comes out and he cuts a promo about how he never gets any TV time. I think this was when he was with like what's that guy's name? Dan American Top Team
Dan Lambert.
Dan Lambert, yeah, he was doing that, right? And
I didn't mind that version.
Scorpio Sky and all that, right? And he comes out and he's talking about how he doesn't get any, like I never get any TV time. It's like, so you're on TV cutting a promo about how you never get TV time.
That's so dumb.
Not the brightest, right?
Right.
And here he is talking about like I've been in Ring of Honor and I've been on quite a roll. I think is what he said. No, you haven't. You have not been on a roll. You lost to fucking Tony Nese in Ring of Honor recently.
He did.
So
really?
You're not on a roll of anything. You're just a guy that's just there, and you're there probably for a reason because they don't even want you on their TV programs. So,
You're saying he's lying, Vit?
I'm saying he's a liar. I'm saying he's all ego and his ego has gotten the best of him.
Nice. Very nice. Very well played, Vet. That's why you're the vet. But look, I've always liked these promos, man. I feel like at times when look, man, I mean, do you blame him?
He's just yelling at people. His promos are just him yelling at people.
But it reminds
it's like
me of
maybe in the 80s on Rocket
exactly.
and WA, that would have been fine.
Right,
but,
exactly.
Even back then, he would have been just another guy yelling. Good for him. Get all the money you can, kid.
You took the words right out of my mouth. He said it actually at the same time. I was gonna say he's a throwback to the 80s style of promo. You know, the coked up sort of promos that everyone used to do. Everyone's screaming it on the damn mic. But look, maybe it makes me a little nostalgic seeing that type of promo because not many guys really do that anymore. Everyone sort of just talks, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, like this, because he wasn't yelling here. He just was calmly talking about how he wanted to face Kenny Omega. Okay, so Kenny Omega just needs somebody to go over on while he waits for an important match. Great.
Oh, man. Aaron hit the nail on the head. He needs to hunt toys during the shows. I hate that, Aaron. I hate it, man. I've watched one of his blogs before, and I thought to myself, dude, anything I liked about you is just out the window. Look, man, I get it. They want to live normal lives and whatnot. But if I was a professional wrestler on television, you ain't seeing me on YouTube fucking buying toys, bro. I'm just saying.
Maybe you should.
Jeez. No, but really, like
the T in Jimmy T stands for toys. It's Jimmy Toys.
Yeah, exactly. Jimmy Toys. Because I collect that shit. Dude, nothing against anyone that collects toys, right? But I stopped playing with figurines when I was like 12. Like, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, but again,
don't let the Major Brothers hear you say that. We're gonna get blacklisted from the industry.
Oh, touche. That's too good. Oh, man, yeah. Fucking Cardona and Hawkins. Anyway, speaking of toys. Next, we see... Oh, no, sorry. Did I talk about the Ethan promo? Yeah, the King of Canada. That's right. Anyway, next we see House of Black versus Matt Sydal and Christopher Daniels. I guess Sydal and Daniels are a tag team now, officially. Like,
Ring of Honor.
I mean, Ring of Honor.
They probably beat Ethan Page too.
They probably did. Look, man, I didn't care if this match was half decent. It really wasn't. What bothered me in this match? How long did this match go for? House of Black should have destroyed these two, dude.
What are you talking about? Christopher Daniels is a legend, and
I don't
Matt
care,
Sydal
bro.
was in the. He was in the WWE once, so this is going to be a tough out.
I don't give a fuck. Look how old they look, bro, right now. Seriously, Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, his hair's gone white pretty much. He's a poor man's AJ Styles, always has been, and can't even talk. Let's be real. His smile annoys me. It is the fakest fucking smile I've ever seen in my life. Just stop smiling,
third
dude.
eye is open.
I don't care.
Oh.
I don't care. And Daniels, god damn it. What did anyone see in Daniels? He was great in TNA, but now that I think back on it, today's version of me, if I saw him now back in 2005, I would absolutely hate Daniels. Look what he used to wear, dude. Bicycle shorts with red or blue on the side. And that's about it. And he'd be like this, whatever he was doing.
But yeah, he's the fallen angel. So
I don't care. He's a fallen angel. Maybe that's why he's still wrestling, right?
That's right.
I mean, come on, bro. Come on, man. He looks like he looks like Mr. Sheen, if you know who that is. You know Mr. Sheen?
Who?
It's an Australian Polish fucking thing called Mr. Sheen.
Yeah, nobody knows that. Even Australians don't know that.
I think in America it's called Mr. Shine or some shit. I don't fucking know, but it's something like that. But who cares? The point is, he's 4 foot nothing. He used to be able to fly around, and the last time he was half interesting was probably when he was with Scorpio Sky, and that's about it.
Well, look, he just refuses to die. All right, this is a very difficult match for the House of Black. for Alistair or Malachi or whatever, and Dark Buddy.
Say that again.
Dark Buddy.
That's good. I like it.
You can't be in the House of Black and have this gimmick or whatever, and your name is Buddy. I'm sorry. That's a dog's name. It's just, you don't.
Wow. There's 2 dogs in House of Black, bro. Come on. There's a big dog called, he just barks like an idiot. Oof, oof. And yeah, Buddy the dog.
Yep.
2 dogs. I guess Malachi becomes a dog's name too. I mean,
yeah, a religious person's dog, maybe. It's an Amish dog. Yeah,
An
just
Amish dog. What's an Amish dog? That's actually quite interesting. I mean, do they
yeah,
wear
just
the Amish stuff?
yes.
Speaking of dogs, I know it's going to
It's
be a random
Roadkill's
question.
dog Malachi.
Roadkill's dog Malachi. I can picture that too. I don't know why, dude. I could so fucking picture a fucking dog named Malachi, and it was Roadkill's damn dog. Oh man,
Or
that made me
Buddy.
laugh.
Either
Oh,
way.
buddy, that's true. I mean,
Yeah.
that could have been my dog. Who the fuck? Yeah, exactly, Jerome. Look at this. Hey, buddy,
What is
come
this
here, good
guy's?
boy.
Hold on.
What?
His name ain't Buddy. What's his shoot name? I'm gonna look it up.
Good question. I forgot. It's
I'm
not
sure I've
Buddy.
seen it, but I just forget all the time.
Oh, Matt
Buddy
Silva. Matt Silva. It's Matt Silva.
Matthew Adams.
What? It's not Matt Silva?
No,
What? I think that was one of his indie names.
maybe it was.
Funny enough. I know
Matt
why he
Si-
called himself
yeah,
Buddy.
Matt Silva. I don't know why you would do that if your name is not that. Like, I don't know
Oh.
how you, if you're just choosing different regular names when you have a regular name. I don't get what like. What's the point? Why
You wanna
Matt
know
Silva?
why? Oh, Matt Silva? I have no idea. That I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is why he calls himself Buddy. Do you want to know why? And it's going to be bad.
Go ahead.
Okay. You've heard of Australian rules football, right?
Yes.
Well, he calls himself Buddy after a football player, an Australian rules football player.
Hmm.
Look up
So
Buddy
he's
Franklin.
a mark.
He's a mark for football, Aussie rules football. Actually, when him and Ria were here recently, they went to a match, funny enough.
It's great.
So, yeah, that's why he's Buddy, because the American audience know who fucking Buddy is.
Oh yeah, totally. We all know. We all have a lot of famous buddies. All right. Well, anyway, yeah. Who cares about this? No one.
Yep. No one. And the poor House of Black at this point are just fading to black. Because
But
let's
then
be
the
honest-
lights go out.
Oh, well, they did fade to black. Yes, the lights do go out. And, yeah, basically Black grabs the mic and said he assumes that both of them are here because they're joining the House of Black. And in reference to FDR, they strike him as a family man. And the only people who have been there for them for a long time now has been the House of Black. Malachi says he's done many things, but not once has he told a lie. As the crowd surprisingly chanted for them, not for FTR. And you know what? I like that. Black puts the mic down on the mat and steps back as Dax Hardwood walks forward like he's going to grab it. And Matthews then rocks him, revealing the setup as Cash Wheeler attacks. But he too gets laid out because of the House of Black. Stand tall at the end of that. Buddy Holly. God damn it, Jerome. But yeah, so the House of Black are going to job out to FTR, I guess, right?
Maybe. So like there was one intriguing moment where, he said that, hey, this whole time you've been here, we never did anything to you. And I was like, is that true? And then before I could even realize it, they attacked him. So I was like, okay, well, guess it doesn't matter anyway.
They did. They've been, I mean, the last 3 weeks, they have been doing shit, have they not?
Well, they like show up, the lights go out, the lights come back on. They're standing somewhere in the crowd, then the lights go out and they leave.
I told you. It's Murder in the Dark. They're playing a game of Murder in the Dark. Okay, Vet.
Yeah.
I'm just
All
telling
right.
you.
What's next?
Oh, what's next? Well, I hated this, but whatever. You probably liked it, but I didn't. Tony Storm is...
Why would I like it?
Oh, thank God. Well, we see Tony Storm and she has no time for an interview with Renee Young, thank God. But she still talks anyway. She said she was interrupted by dark skies at a ceremony and she has advice for her. Walk backwards because the only time people pay attention to her is when they're taking pictures of her behind. That part I liked though, so ouch to dark skies ass.
Yeah.
I mean, can I ask you a question before we talk about Tony? What's happened to and the House of Black?
Well, nothing. Nothing's happened.
So what was the point of all that shit? Like, what was the point of that?
Well,
I don't want to scream, but shit.
But isn't, I mean, look, Julia Hart is now the TBS champion.
The TV network champion, yes.
Yes. Dark Sky is now the number one contender, I guess, or at least she's having a match with Toni Storm at some point, right?
Wow.
Apparently, which I don't recall
so.
how this got set up, but
well,
apparently, so look, now she has bigger fish to fry. Who cares about that secondary title? Now she's going after the main title, so she doesn't have time to worry about the House of Black anymore.
So does that mean Dark Sky doesn't have the mist on her face anymore? Is that
it's not like it's not like running down her eyes. Well, she have a promo next? You want to just go to that?
Oh well, let's move on, shall we? Because yes, we do see Sky Blue. Sorry, cutting a promo saying Toni Storm is in a midlife crisis, and none of
she's like 27.
I know, and none of what she has is going to stop her from taking the championship from her. Lies. She'll have her chin up, her tits out, and she's going to kick Storm's ass. And I say, Vet, sure you are. But if she's going to have her tits out, I'm all for it. Just saying.
Well, she even like stuck her chest out a little when she said it and made sure to brush her hair back off of it. You know, so right. she's getting into it. You know, that's fine. She played off of Toni Storm's catchphrase or whatever. Someone probably told her to say it, but that's fine. Whatever 100%. It is, you know. Look, it doesn't matter what it doesn't matter what she is or isn't doing or saying in her promos or coming up with her by herself. All right, all you need to do is come up with the right gear and wear it out there. Okay, that's all.
And just shake your ass a little bit, and you're over. That's it.
Right.
Simple as that. I mean, she said tits
and
out.
which bro, you watched, you watched Rampage, right? You saw that fucking match. There was so much ass out in that match, dude. Like, if you're a fan of asses, don't miss Rampage this week. You had Anna Jay, you had Sky,
a lot of ass, good ass too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was just all over the place, you know. So.
My significant other is giving me this look for saying there was a lot of good ass on Rampage this past week. But hey, there was.
Yeah, don't worry, D. He's just repeating what I said.
He said, don't worry, D. He's just repeating what Vince said. Anyway, but it was true. Yeah, so let's move on to the next match. And this is classic because it's El Hijo del Bochingo. Yes, I said Bochingo. Versus Kip Sabian. Now, Vet, did you watch?
Speaking of ass out, where's Penelope? I don't see no Penelope out there.
Good question. Where? But you said you watched Rampage, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Tell me if you missed this doozy.
I'm home.
We'll make heaven a place on earth. Ooh, heaven is a place on earth.
The song made me laugh too, I'm not gonna lie. But that, my friend, is what you call a dream level wrestler.
Well, he's number 5, in the PWI 500. So
that's so dumb. That's ridiculous, dude. I've seen him now botch after botch after botch after botch on countless shows. As a matter of fact, he was injured recently because of a botch. And he's still out botching everywhere. By the looks of things.
Well, even when he makes it over the rope, it's like a 50-50 if somebody will catch him. Like, maybe? I've seen guys just been like, nope, and he just splats and hits his hip right on the concrete.
I love that.
It's just like,
oh man, Zane Vicious though cracking me up, saying almost spat out his Frito pie. I mean, I'm home. That's all that matters. Poor CM Punk. He got
Well,
the hell out
in full disclosure, I didn't see that because when I saw all those guys in the ring, like I was like, well, fast forward, right? Like I'm not watching this, so I missed that
didn't
part.
see it either. I actually didn't see it, and I think they
or
edited
maybe
it
the
out.
camera, because that was clearly a fan camera. So
Yeah, it was,
maybe
right.
they edited off the show.
I think they did, just like Ric Flair's little promo. I'm sure you heard about that, right?
Yeah, I heard he said something, but I don't know what he said.
He said, and I know Liz, you're in the chat, by the way, so correct me if I'm wrong because you remember it because she also brought it up while we're doing Uncaged. But basically, and I'm not saying it verbatim, but I'm just giving you the gist. He basically said any girl that's 17, I think, between 17 and 28, that's not married or has a boyfriend, to come up to his room after the show. Smart one, Rick.
Okay, gross.
Okay, gross. Exactly.
So if you're 29, sorry, Grandma, not tonight. Is that what it is?
You ain't riding to the Space Mountain. Woo! No Space
Jesus
Mountains
Christ.
for her, man. It's too old.
Well, every time Ric Flair goes out in public, I feel less. I feel less guilty about all the savage burials I've given to him on these podcasts. But
he deserves it at this point. He doesn't give a shit, bro. But anyway.
no, he doesn't.
Really doesn't.
What about that time when he was like, they had a backstage thing with him and Sting, the interview, and he's talking about like, we went out there, nothing planned. Like, what do you mean planned? Don't say that, you fucking idiot. Of course there was nothing planned. Wrestling's real.
Yeah. It's real
You
to
were
me,
the
damn
real
it.
world champion, Rick.
Oh, man. And like Medium 5 says, that the 17 age mentioned there shows his fucking life right there. It's sad
Right.
but true, dude. Just like the song.
All right, so sad but true. But here we go. Vikingo versus who was it?
Sabian. Kip Sabian.
Kip Sabian, right. I remember him.
Yes. You
AEW
do.
original Kip Sabian.
That's right.
No
The-
Penelope.
No.
So
no
he's a
Penelope.
true heel.
True heel. And you know what? He's not too bad. I think he tries. I think he kind of gets it. It's just where, where the pecking order he sits. He sits very low on the pecking order in AEW, unfortunately for him. Because I think he's a lot better than AEW even realizes. I just don't like his look.
Well, yeah, his look is one of the things he changed to set himself apart. And
Right. But
and you don't even like it, so
I don't. I actually don't.
yeah, well, not good. This match wasn't
Not good.
good. And
It wasn't.
Vikingo is not good. He's a perpetual move doer. But like everything that we were talking about the first match and how these guys were just going through their stuff, like he makes Brody King and Cesaro look like fucking Bret Hart, like they just and it doesn't even matter because yes, he spins around in the air a lot, but Ricochet can do pretty much everything he can do, and he's so much better at everything else.
Right. Yep.
And
100%.
he doesn't botch like that, not nearly as much. So
He used to. He's become better now, I think, though. I'm talking about Ricochet, that is.
yeah, I mean, whenever you're going to do these things, there's a potential for making a mistake because they're difficult to practice. But I just don't. Or if Vikingo was all right, let's not go that far, Labrat. If Vikingo was 6 feet tall, say, okay, then you might have something. He looks cool. He's got a cool look, but he's too short and he's not good at anything about wrestling. So,
Wrestling.
and the
He
one
doesn't
thing
even know
that
how to
he's
wrestle,
known
bro.
for, well, you just saw the clip. Like that's
Oh,
the most
Boccia.
basic. That's the most basic of what a diving wrestler is going to be able to do. And if you can't even count on that to be nailed 100%, yeah.
Yeah. We said at the same time. No, seriously, do you think it's his height, though? That's sort of, I mean.
Well, then go through
crashed.
the rope.
Yeah. Why not? You go through the rope. That must have felt like shit though. While his teammates got over the rope.
I feel horrible for everybody involved.
Oh God. Hey, can I ask you? I don't know if I told you this. It probably was you, and because you love video games, I'm sure you know this video game. But it's an old school video game. Did you ever play Dreamcast back in the day?
Yeah.
Do you remember the game, Seaman?
Yeah, that's the one where there's like a fish and you like talk to it with the microphone.
Yeah. Doesn't Vikingo look like one of the seamen?
I think I get what you're saying.
His head, bro. Take his head off and put it on that video game, and I'm telling you, you won't see a difference. Same guy. Same thing, sorry. He's a sperm. That's all he is. Plus with the rat tail at the back, kind of makes him look like, you can picture him swimming on that game. I'm glad you remember that, because everyone else that I brought it up has no idea what I was on about. So I'm so happy that you actually knew what I was talking about. Liz, though, says in the chat, I sometimes like him. It's like watching a mini Rey Mysterio. Come on, Liz.
Yeah.
Are you joking? He's nowhere near on Ray's level, man. At all. I can't stand him. Ever since he was a dream match against Kenny Omega, that was it for me. Anyway, speaking of, though, we see a man that we have been kind of seeing lately, but he's a loser. A big loser, that is. And it's Keith Lee. Oh, did I mention Vikingo did defeat Sabian, by the way? Sorry, I think I forgot saying that.
Yeah, with the worst 630 I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's just getting bad. They expose him. Stop.
I wasn't even sure it was a 630, but I just didn't want to rewind it to watch it again.
No, it doesn't matter, man, because he should go straight back to triple A. Nah. That's what I call triple A. Is that how you say triple A in Spanish? I guess it is. Well, we see Keith Lee next.
Yes, I'm excited.
And yeah, as you should be. But put your excitement down, because he's interrupted immediately by Shane Taylor, who says they didn't settle things last time and they need to have a rematch at Ring of Honor's Final Battle. And show the world, even though the world won't be watching. But anyway, Lee immediately accepts the challenge, and that was that. Cool.
All right.
Not much to say or see.
Well, they've been booking this angle all throughout Collision, like Collision only, right? Pretty much with these guys.
Yeah.
For a Ring of Honor match.
That's right.
And I guess that makes sense, because half these people are on Ring of Honor. Like you saw Seidel and Daniels, you saw Bear Country, Iron Savages. You saw, Vikingo, and you saw Ethan Page. You saw, basically this is just their version of Ring of Honor here. So this is the Ring of Honor feeder. So yeah, why wouldn't we see Keith Lee and Shane Taylor blow off their angle that they've been running all on Collision on Final Battle? I actually don't hate it, because if you're going to try to get people to watch Ring of Honor, you can use your TV time to get people over to Ring of Honor. I don't know if it's going to work, but it's worth a shot.
Has it worked? I don't think it has, dude.
Well, I'm going to watch it. Me.
I'll watch Final Battle because, generally we cover the pay-per-views. We were doing a Ring of Honor Channel Attitude show. We lasted 2 shows and we're like, we can't do this shit. We can't do this shit.
No, you can't do it.
It's I don't know how you do it, bro. You watch it every week pretty much.
I'll tell you how I do it. I skip. Basically what I end up watching is like anything that Athena's on and maybe Eddie Kingston promo or match. That's basically it. And everything else gets skipped.
I'm glad you brought up Athena, because I was just thinking of it while watching Collision. And I'm puzzled, Vet, because everybody knows their women's division, I'm talking about AEW, that is not the greatest, right? I don't understand how and why they do not bring up Athena into the main roster of AEW. I know she's Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but you have every other Ring of Honor fucking champion on this show. What difference does it make?
I guess they're kind of letting her be like, this is your show, basically.
Okay.
You know, like, and even though she's more like, I think she's more useful on, say a Collision or a Dynamite or anything else. Um, I mean, perhaps it's just like, if you bring her up there, she'll just be another one of these women doing these women matches, and then everybody will be saying, "Hey, nobody cares." Whereas right now, she's on a show that most people aren't watching, but the people
Yeah.
that are watching are telling everybody how she's the best part of the show, myself included.
True.
So is it better to be that? Is it better to be the big fish that owns the whole pond? Or is it better to have to come up here and work with with Abaddon? Right? Like,
Oh, well, good question. But didn't she leave WWE for similar reasons, though?
no.
I mean, I remember because didn't she get put back down in NXT right before she got released? I think. I could be wrong.
Um, she was pitching,
Oh yeah,
and
that's right.
nobody was going with any of her pitches. And then they released her.
Oh well.
But they
that's what
always had a
happens
problem with her because, if you remember the whole uh
with what she was wearing.
the talk about,
Right.
women should dress like this and be like this and whatever, and like that whole thing, and it's very WWE. If you know how they are, then you can kind of understand.
Well, look at Serena Deeb, for example, and shout out to Serena Deeb, by the way. Who's did you see her video? I'm sure you did, right?
yeah, her
And like the
Instagram
fuse
video,
with Ben, right? That was crazy, dude. That shocked me. We spoke about it on Uncaged, but dude, she was having seizures.
no one knew. I didn't know.
Yeah, neither did I. And I don't think even Ben knew, funny enough. But she was on Light the Fuse also. She called in. So go check that out with Ben. Because, like I said, I mean, I'm sure everybody knows how close them two are. And she did call into the show. So that makes it interesting. But, man, the reason why I brought up Serena Deeb, though, is because, funny enough, WWE have been going CM Punk crazy, dude. Like, they're releasing all these matches from the past. They're just re-releasing shit. So anyway, I watched like his timeline from, and this is what they called it, CM Punk coming back home, right? So they go from the start till now. And, the Straight Edge Society thing came up. Now I remember that like it was yesterday, but nevertheless, seeing Serena Deeb with fake breasts and what was part of the reason why she left WWE in the first place is kind of crazy because she obviously took them right out the second she left WWE. And thank God she did. I mean, because, I don't understand how WWE can force women to do that shit. It's pretty much forcing them, dude. It's like if you don't do it, you're not going to be on television. You're pretty much gone. Is that not forcing someone? Sure, they're going to turn around and say, yeah, we're not holding a gun to your head. But you're pretty much using their job as blackmail. You know what I mean? So,
Pretty much. I mean, that's how it was. It's like, what, you don't fit our definition of attractive, so we're just going to tell you to do this, that, and the other thing or whatever, and then it's still not going to matter. Like, yeah, we'll sign
sad,
you,
man.
but so whatever. So she
WWE.
got a nose job, she got the gimmicks,
Unbelievable, bro. Unbelievable. It's just weird. That's all. Anyway, speaking of women, though, we see CJ Perry next interviewed backstage. Before she can speak, though, we see Miro rolling up, trying to get into Andrade El Idolo's dressing room. Now you care. Jesus. Why didn't he come out during the match? But that's just me. And you know what? I'll continue once I keep going here because Perry stops him. She tells him he picked his God. Okay, so she was his God before that. And she has chosen her own path. But please, if there's any love that he has for her, please let her do this. Please let her find her own way. And if she means anything to him, don't lay a hand on her client. Well, then Miro ends up saying his God is gone. And if he was still with him, he would be in the tournament ripping Andrade's spine out. But he does promise not to lay a hand on her client. So, I'll say this again. Is Miro a cuck?
I didn't know you said it before.
I did actually. I said it. I don't know if it was this show or any other channel, Attitude Show or PWC, but I did say it. Oh yeah, it was the one with Brandon. I think you were on too. I said he's a cuck, and he still is a cuck. I'm confused. I'm confused. This guy is getting screwed around, dude. I don't care if this is leading to something. It's leading to nothing. He's done nothing in his whole company for the whole amount of time that he's been there for. He's been absolutely useless. Again, I don't know if it's his fault because he complains a lot publicly. But just let him go. I mean, they're ribbing him at this point. His wife has got more shit to do on television than Miro does. Is that a rib?
Could be. I mean, would you try to rib that guy?
No, absolutely not. Jesus Christ. I wouldn't even.
I mean, if you can't even
like
tell your EVPs, hey, you have to sit down in this meeting that we scheduled.
Oh my God. Don't even get
Are you going to tell Miro he's doing this? I don't know.
He needs to get the fuck out of this company. I don't even know if WWE's safe for him anymore either. But, well, then again, Vince isn't there anymore, and that was the reason why he left. You're not over, pal. They're giving you shit. What an idiot, bro. Sorry, Vince, but you're a fucking idiot for thinking that. But whatever. Yeah, but it's clearly he's getting even more disrespected in this company, and it's just, I'm over it, dude. He was the best man at first. The best man. Really?
That's right.
The best man. And now he's lost his God and his wife, and he just continues watching his wife while she handles other guys. I mean,
pretty good.
Can I ask?
Just like WWE.
Tell me if there's anything different. The only difference is they were literally alluding that everyone was screwing CJ in WWE, while Miro is just sitting there. You know what I mean? Like being a cuck. And here he's still a cuck. He's just the best man. And CJ gets TV
Which
time.
we did have Kip Sabian on the show, but no.
That's true.
No Penelope.
That's true. Good point. No Penelope. No. What's happened to her actually? Anyway, where's she been, dude? I mean, really. I used to like her before AEW. I thought she was going to be something, but she hasn't progressed at all. She's just gone backwards. You know what I mean? I remember, even in Ring of Honor back in the day, when she was with fucking sloppy jalopy Janela. I don't even know how he got her. God damn it. But honestly, man, I thought she had something, and now she's nothing, and she's bad, and she can't work still, and she's just useless. You know what? I dare say she was better looking even back then compared to now. I didn't even find her attractive anymore compared to back then. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm about to break a sweat talking about it. This is just all annoying, dude. I'm sick of the way they treat Miro. CJ is totally a bigger star than Miro. And who cares? Who cares? I don't know how many years he's got left, but he needs to get the fuck out ASAP, man. For real. Yeah, well, that's that. Well, we move on to the main events gear. It is Bryan Danielson versus your boy, Vet, in Eddie Kingston. And can I ask, you know what annoys me about Eddie Kingston? Why does he walk to the ring like he needs to take a shit, but he does his little sort of...
he doesn't have a cool walk.
He doesn't, bro.
It's almost like it's almost like the Santino power walk without the arm part.
Without the arm part. He might as well do it, though.
Yeah, so...
I mean, I know it's a weird observation, but damn it stands out for me, dude. And I keep thinking to myself, dude, if you're hanging for a shit, go and take a shit before the match or something, bro. But anyway, what can I say? If you want to talk about Japanese-style matchup, but worse in a way, this is it. But it was, when I say worse, it wasn't that bad of a match. I just don't like the no-selling and telling someone, come on, chop me some more. Chop me some more. And then you sell it like you got hit with a bazooka. You know what I mean? I can't get up because the chop. hurt my heart. It really hurt my heart to the point I was having a heart attack. I mean, come on, man. Come on.
You had a heart attack, Jimmy?
No, well, I'm talking about Kingston having a heart attack because he's like,
Oh.
I can't get up. The commentators are selling for him. Look at him. He's so hurt that he can't even stand up because chops are bazookas.
Well, it's funny because that's where, the story should have been Eddie Kingston has taken this guy apart. Like he's barely
around,
coming into this.
Right.
Like he's not healthy. His arm isn't healed. His eye isn't healed. And they're still like, and they even gave him an extra week. Because if you notice, everybody else has had a match already.
Yes.
Except for him.
Right.
So he's like a week behind now in the blue block standings. And he comes in here and the story is that he's kicking the shit out of Eddie Kingston so bad that Eddie Kingston can hardly move. How is that? How is that?
I don't know, bro.
This guy is completely Bryan Danielson is a nut. Like he's completely lost it. So
dude, he's
whatever.
lost it. He's lost the plot. And I dare say, and I said this, I think on Uncaged, but I didn't say this part. Moxley and Danielson are a lot more similar than you think, dude. I know that sounds weird, right?
They're obviously buddies and they hang out.
Well,
and
yeah.
do this gimmick.
I know Danielson doesn't do the fucking, the hardcore bullshit, right? But they're both. You know what? Is Danielson exposing himself? Is he really that smart about the business, dude? Honestly, is he? Is his brain receptors wearing out for real by this point?
I don't know. I mean, he's had his moments, up and down his whole career.
Right, but at least in WWE he was restricted. You know what I mean? Maybe.
Yeah, but there's a difference between being restricted and being smart.
Right.
Because just because you're restricted doesn't mean that you have to, like, how do I explain this? It's what's interesting, what can get people invested into a match is not necessarily the fact that you're doing stuff that appears dangerous at times.
Right. True.
If you're telling a story, like if you've got a built-in story, right? Like you know about the arm and you know about the eye, and if Eddie Kingston is a real good worker, they could tell a story on that.
Correct.
And they don't have to be suplexing each other on the floor or like, doing these dangerous things, and they don't have to do all that. Nope. They can tell the story of him trying to do things and Danielson avoiding it without taking any bumps whatsoever. If they're good enough, if you're good enough, you can have a match. You can have an exciting, interesting match that tells a story, and you don't even have to hit the ropes if you're good enough. I don't know how many people in today's wrestling can do it, but you could. It's possible.
Dude, let me say one thing. When I watched a SmackDown match last night between Grayson Waller and Kevin Owens, where they were literally selling, like Kevin Owens is selling the whole way, all the way to the end, right? For me, Grayson Waller, he put Grayson Waller over in that match, even though Owens won, right? The point is, Waller was concentrating on the limb, dude, on his hand, the whole way through. They probably didn't even hit the ropes, like you said, right? And Kevin Owens sold for him all the way, even after he got his win, he still fucking sold, right? Then you got these two guys who've been in the business for a long, long fucking time, right? But they can't sell compared to someone like Grayson Waller, who's been in the business for a cup of coffee so far. Yet this guy knows, the fundamentals of pro wrestling right now compared to these fucking two. What the hell, man? Like, these two should know better, dude. Danielson should know much better. I don't know if it's because of Mox and his influence or whatnot, But I'm starting to not feel this Danielson. It's not the same Danielson that I fell in love with many, many years ago, dude. This is just not the same guy.
Yeah, I don't like it, but whatever. It is what it is, and it's done. And we've got what has he got? 4 more matches now. So we'll get to see this 4 more times. Now, if you want to like, instead of making Eddie Kingston the underdog, you know, you got to make Bryan Danielson the underdog, don't you?
Because that's what got him over, bro.
Yeah, and we could see he's wearing a fucking eye patch, right? So even though Eddie Kingston lost his first match, he's now like, okay, now I'm my back's against the wall, and now I gotta make up for lost ground, and I'm getting a guy that's not 100%. So
Right.
What if you had the whole rest of the show, and then this match is scheduled to go 20 minutes, and then you ring the bell, and Danielson comes in and he's doing those kicks, you know, the low kicks to the leg, and Eddie Kingston checks the leg kick. And as he checks the leg kick, he throws a left jab to Brian's right eye.
Simple.
So
It's a
now he has
simple
no
thing.
eyes. He's completely blind. You throw one punch to his eye. It's not illegal because you didn't stick your thumb in it, but you threw the punch. Now he's like, oh, fuck. Eddie Kingston hits the back fist on the blind side, picks him up, hits him with his little snowplow move, 1, 2, 3. Now you had a quick, like, 30-second match. Danielson didn't get hurt because it was you didn't do anything in the match. You just sold and took one bump, right? And then Eddie Kingston moves on, and now Bryan Danielson's like, oh shit, now I'm starting with no points, and I've got 4 more matches. Now you got a story.
Don't.
Instead, what do we get? We get a match that was rife with opportunity for people to get hurt if they didn't in fact get hurt. So,
Dude, that's what I'm saying, and it's a fucking great point. And Jerome Hall even says, good point, damn. Facts. That's why he's the vet, folks. Come on. And this is what's annoying, vet. These guys should know fucking better. It's not that hard, man. It just isn't. It's not, all right? Like you said, Danielson, his whole shtick and why he got over it like he did was that he was the underdog, right? He came up, and I understand he's not the underdog anymore, right? But now that his eye's fucked, he can
right.
be.
Now you
know
can
what
be,
I mean?
yes.
Right. So, but these idiots just don't think. They don't think at all. Heck, I would even book it like this with Danielson, right? Have him go throughout the whole tournament with the eye patch, right? You remember Bloodsport with Van Damme?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember at the end where he was blinded?
Yeah.
And he can't see, and he's thinking back to like the cheek he was screwing and and everyone else throughout the whole movie, whatever. Yeah, no so cow. Oh no, sorry, that was Kickboxer, I think. But anyway,
Yeah, that's Kickboxer.
that was Kickboxer. He was blinded, and he came back and won the match, right? Why not do something like that where he cannot see? Someone goes for the eye, fuck his other eye up too. Why not, right? He's literally blind, and but he comes up, Yeah, I know. Thank you, media. And he comes up for the victory. There's your underdog. And there's, everybody getting behind him again because he came back from obscurity. He couldn't see, but he still won. But nope, we're not getting that. We're not going to get any of that.
Yeah, he would have.
We're not gonna...
He would have had this exact match whether he had a hurt eye, arm, or anything else.
That's what I mean. That's what
he was going to do this whether he's 100% healthy or whether he looks like he's a mummy. He's going to have this same match. And I don't know why he's not, like, he wants to have matches. He's not interested in doing what's good for the TV show or the advancing things moving forward.
So why is he the guy to run Collision, apparently?
What do you mean?
Well, apparently from what I read, and he's even alluded to it himself, he's the guy, like basically he's taken over the CM Punk role for Collision. Right. And it's gone downhill since.
I don't know what he does. I really don't know what he's qualified to do.
He's not qualified for anything, dude, clearly.
Yeah. He married the dumb Bella sister.
Bang. There's the answer.
Sorry. I like Brian and I like Bree,
Uh,
but
well, Bree's
I'm
the
just
smarter
saying. Yeah, somehow Nikki's the smarter one. Who would have ever thought that?
one. Oh, sorry, Brian. No, sorry, not sorry, but
Yeah.
it's true. Oh boy.
So maybe that drove him insane slowly.
Oh.
And it has nothing to do with concussions or anything else. It's just his marriage to Bree. Maybe that's what did it.
Can you imagine, right? She's going off at him, right? She's screaming at him, Brian, and he's like, no, no, no.
Yeah.
I can picture it. I don't know why. Liz says, how about this? His orbital bone is broken and he doesn't fluff and compete, for fuck's sake.
Well,
Fair call.
well, he needs to. Sorry.
Media says, don't give Tony ideas, Jimmy. I know, it's true. Jerome says it's all ego. It probably is. But
Ethan Page?
if he said it's all ego, that would have been even better. Excuse me. Yeah, it is. But your boy Serge says Brian married the better Bella. He did, but not by much. You know what I mean? But still,
Well, they're
I
twins,
think Nikki's.
so, I mean,
They are twins. I think Nikki's sort of better looking, but she's just dumb as fuck. And Brie is the better overall package, but still, she ain't that much smarter. But you know, who am I to judge? Labrat though says before we move on, as he says, Japanese wrestling is not globally pleasing to everyone. AEW is trying to be New Japan Wish version. Well, yeah, they're a bad version of it, and it's not for everyone. But
well,
the
good
thing is,
wrestling. Good wrestling is good for everyone. Bad wrestling is bad for everyone.
right?
It's not limited to a country or anything.
Medium 5 says, Bree's head on Nikki's body. Maybe. But anyway, look, we're going to take it home now. But the one thing I just wanted to say is this company going to get any better? I have no idea, but it's just, this shit is just fucking shit. And hopefully someone like a Danielson who really should know better starts, changing the course for AEW and AEW Collision to be specific. But I somehow doubt it. And everyone's just dopey when it comes to thinking of shit. Again, we came up with simple things, Vet. Little simple things. It's not hard to think, right? It just isn't. All it takes is just 5 minutes of brainstorming and we can come up with something better for a whole year that AEW have been doing. Let's be real. They continuously just, they're brain dead in this company, dude. And I don't know what else to say. They're dumb. They're stupid. And if you're CM Punk, he made the right choice. And I'll thank AEW for one thing before we go. Thank you, TK and AEW, for making CM Punk absolutely hate AEW. Because if it wasn't for you guys, there is no chance in hell he would have jumped back to WWE. There is no way. That's how much he hated AEW that he went back to WWE, dude.
Well, if you believe in the Wrestling Observer newsletter reports, he already had plans to go back to WWE
Apparently.
back before he went to AEW. So
all the way back to 2019 when he was doing the Fox show, dude. Apparently, according to Meltzer.
But Vince McMahon said, "Sorry, pal, we don't have any room." Right now.
Sorry, Phil. But at the end of the day, fuck you to the Bucks, because them prancing around in the ring saying, look at us, we're on fucking Collision. Well, Punk did it right back to you at a place that you guys will never, ever be. So, yeah, eat on that.
A building with people in it?
Hey, well, did you see the video I was showing you before with Vikingo? Did you notice how dead the hard camera side was? There was not even anyone, not even up in the bleachers, not on the sides, nothing. Come on, lab rat. He was never an AEW mole, all right? I hate when people say this. It is the most drowned out thing.
Well, he put a laughing face.
I know. He's probably trolling.
He's testing jokes on us, Jimmy.
I noticed Retro Rocket Review hasn't joined us today if he's not listening. I just want to say, I put him in timeout yesterday on the Smack Attack, and he's upset. He was drunk as fuck, man. He's being an idiot.
Well, he's probably hungover now, so.
Probably. He was commenting. But you know what, Vet? Let's take it home, dude. Unless there's anything else we need to talk about, tell them where they can find you, bro. Actually, before you tell them where they can find you, what is your score between A and F?
Oh man, this is a F. This is like an F.
Oof.
You got you had Keith Lee on for like 30 seconds, and you had Sky Blue from the front. Like what?
From the front, right? Yeah.
Yeah, like what? I didn't order this. I'd like my money back, please. So basically, yeah, I'll give it an F. And an F because, Danielson, it's not, he's not working smart. And even if even if you wanted to just take the match on his terms, I found the match to, I didn't think the psychology was very good, and it was kind of bad toward the end. So even if I just wanted to like take his style of match, I still didn't think it was good. The best match on the show was Andrade and Garcia, but that wasn't enough to not be an F. So F.
Yeah, I give it an F too because
why is and I want to answer Aaron because he keeps talking about Jay White. Why is Jay White banned from the shows? Jay White's been moved up to Dynamite, the A show. So he's on the gold. He's on Dynamite wrestling in the gold block. The gold block happens on Dynamite. So if you want Jay White, you're gonna have to watch Dynamite from now. He's not gonna be on Collision for a while, probably.
Yeah, no, come on, Aaron. I know it's confusing with his A and B block, whatever the hell, blue block. They should have had. Look, I know this company's just dumb, right? But wouldn't it make more sense? Because gold and blue is just so out of whack. Just the sound of gold and blue. I would have done like a Dynamite block, Collision block. I mean, doesn't that make more sense?
Well, they just, I don't know.
And thank you, Van.
So what do you give it, Jim? What do you grade it?
Well, before I give my grade, Elizabeth gives it an M for mother fluffing awful.
Watch your fluffing mouth, Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. I should watch my fluffing mouth. Thank you, Liz. Liz was on fire yesterday, just quietly. She killed it, man. She was the funniest thing on Uncaged. Absolutely killed it. The new comment queen or Ant King at this point. But anyway, I will give it an F for absolutely not fabulous, but just feces. F for feces. It was shit.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That's all it was, dude. And there was nothing I really, really, really liked. I mean, the only thing that popped me was what popped you, and it wasn't even a positive thing, is when Roddy Strong knocked out one of the Bear Country Savages, whatever the hell they are, and then falling over on his wheelchair, even though he's supposed to have a broken neck. But whatever, cool. That was about it. Not that it was great, but that's all that got me over, man. Not got me over, that I actually liked. So, yeah, F for feces. And I think that's about it. So in saying that, Vet, tell them where they can find you, bro.
At Opinion Haver on all your favorite social media platforms every Wednesday, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, live with Big Ray Hernandez for the Next Level Wrestling Review. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, live with Brandon for the Impact Attack. And you definitely got to check out. I always tell you guys check out Rip Rogers live every Friday, but you're really going to want to watch the latest episode because it's Mark Henry is on with Rip Rogers and Von Lawless for 2 hours. For the low price of On the House. So get over to Wrestling with Rip Rogers channel. Watch the Mark Henry interview. Trust me, you're going to want to watch it. If you're a fan of me, like if you watch me on these shows, you're going to want to watch Mark Henry because Mark Henry's going to be saying a lot of stuff and you're going to be like, I feel like I've heard that somewhere before or things like that. So
awesome.
I can't recommend that highly enough. Everybody go check that out. And then, of course, Stevie Richards, always doing stuff. Most recently, I think there's a Patreon early access for what went wrong in the Bret Hart versus Goldberg match, the infamous Bret Hart versus Goldberg career ender match. So that'll be coming to YouTube probably later, but if you're a Patreon supporter, it's out now. So go check out Stevie Richards. Yeah.
That's about it. Are you doing anything after the show, actually, Vet? Are you doing your
Yep,
your Twitch
I'll be
channel
on Twitch.
thing?
I'll be on Twitch live in, maybe 15 minutes or so. So if you want to follow that, that's Opinion Hammer also.
Just quietly, you got to get your hands on Alan Wake Part 2, bro. What a game. Oh, come on. Come on. Really? Bro. Wait, can I ask you?
I don't play no Nicolas Cage wannabe with a flashlight. Get out of here, bro.
Did you ever play the first one?
No.
Oh, bro. You're so missing out, man. Why are you shitting on every game I recommend, damn it? Even fucking like a dragon. AW like a dragon. Can't you?
It's not that I don't like it. It's just that I'm done. Fucking done.
It's AEW, isn't it? Come on, just be honest.
No.
No,
I've been done with those. You play one, you played them all. I played 3. That's enough.
I've played them all. But before I give my little socials, is Alan Wake even on PlayStation this time around? Because I know it was an Xbox exclusive originally.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
It's all on PlayStation now.
Oh, okay.
The first one remastered and the new one.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. That's funny. Well, anyway, if you want to follow me on the X, you can at DJ MassFX, and also you can follow us at the PWC Network. Like and subscribe right here at channelattitude.com, where for $5, not only do you get the realest talk in all of wrestling, but also the best talk in all of professional wrestling. And as the vet said, go check out all those great shows by all our great Hamin stablemates, I guess, at channelattitude.com. But like I said, $5. That's all you need. And also, HaminMediaGroup.podbean.com for all our affiliate shows, and the PWC Network.podbean.com, where you can find all our other shows. And that's a wrap, vet. So in saying that, I am Jimmy T. That is the vet, Jamie Williams, and you've been listening and watching the HMG Saturday Night Wreckage right here on channelattitude.com via Hamin Media Group. And we're out. A peace.